Credit issues affect millions, from basic misunderstandings to complex negative items. Below is a structured roadmap covering common challenges, identifying all errors on your credit and violations of your consumer reporting rights. We have created the correct disputing methods that yield effective, fast results, sometimes in as little as 24 hours. We can show you how to build and structure your credit report down to the fine details so that you will look ideal in the eyes of specific lenders, and provide strategies for both building your personal and business credit profiles. We'll show you exactly how to use each credit card and boost your credit, because if you're not doing this correctly, you could be instead signaling to banks and lenders through your current and past spending habits and current credit card use that you are the type of person who should never be given a credit card. Or if you currently have credit cards, that you should never be given a credit limit increase or more favorable interest rates. Until you have learned this insider information, along with tricks and strategies to correct your spending patterns, you will never overcome these barriers. Everyone, and I mean everyone, should have business credit in 2025 going forward. Let's start by addressing the most common credit card challenges most Americans face. Negative items such as late payments, collections, charge-offs, bankruptcies, repossessions, and wrong addresses and personal information. Or authorized users on your credit account maintaining high balances. Your high credit utilization, lack of credit history, or a thin file. Identity theft. Mixed or merged files from the use of CPNs, or secondary credit numbers. By the way, these are forms of credit repair fraud, in case you haven't figured that out already. Typical American consumer aspirations, like achieving high credit scores for better rates, approvals, and financial flexibility, i.e., super high credit limits. So in order to solve all of these things, we need to tackle things in order. Remember, scientific research and experts stress the importance of being organized, structured, and following a carefully formulated order of operations when managing personal finances and credit, just as mathematics relies on a specific order of operations. PEMDAS. I'm sure you've learned that in the 6th grade. To solve problems correctly, personal finance experts recommend a step-by-step approach to managing money. Studies also show that organizational settings, strong internal controls, structured processes, and clear priorities lead to greater effectiveness and better financial outcomes. Here, I've done all the heavy lifting for you. If you just follow my carefully constructed credit repairing and building plan, you will quickly be on your way to changing your financial and credit situation. So watch the next video, because we're going to outlay it all for you.
All right, folks, we are going to go and have at that list. So I'm going to show you how to identify issues on your credit report, discrepancies, number one, inaccuracies, and how to get your reports for free. Keep in mind, guys, there are ways to do this for free, but it'll save you a lot of time if you actually pay for a credit service. So if you want to get credit monitoring from the 3 bureaus for free, you can do that at annualcreditreport.com. You can get your reports a few times or so. I've been hearing people get them, a handful of times, but I've also seen people, even myself, and I do this for my clients. Sometimes I try to pull reports when we do consultations here at pinnaclecreditrepair.com. I go to annual credit reports sometimes, and I find that I can't get the reports, and they want you to fill out this form and mail in something, and then they're going to mail you back the report. How seamless is that? That's time consuming. So I would just recommend using the link in the description below to get your credit report. Otherwise, you can get them on annualcreditreport.com. Okay, so step number one, we're identifying issues. We're getting your free credit reports, free and cheap. Get all three. You can go to annualcreditreport.com. Let's go there. Let's do that. Annualcreditreport.com. It looks like this. You request your free credit reports. You go here, click this button, fill out the form to the best of your ability, blah, blah, blah. And then, so you get your reports. Now, the second step is you need to compare line by line your credit reports from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. And to save you some time, we can actually do this by using artificial intelligence. such as ChatGPT. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and look at this credit report. This is a credit report from my client right here. We downloaded it. Okay, so we have our prompt here. We put it in, and then as you can see right here, we have a response. By the way, if you want a copy of this prompt, just download the PDF link, visit my blog. It's in there. You just click the link in the description below. It'll take you to where you can download this prompt and get it yourself. All right, so here we have here. Make sure at the end of the prompt, it says, let me know if you fully understand what I'm trying to do before I give you the PDF. So that's just me making sure that I know what ChatGPT is doing. So always at the end of your prompts, just ask it again. Do you fully understand? And as you can see right here, it says you want to compare all 3 credit reports, TransUnion, Equifax Experian, side by side, spot every inconsistency or mismatch, such as account names, account numbers, account statuses, payment histories, any missing or extra data. Then apply the factual disputing method. Now, this is a term that the credit repair industry came up with over the years. It's just basically looking at all of the immediate inaccuracies, such as like your name. If you have a completely different name on your report that's not yours, disputing that would be factual disputing. Okay, factual disputing means identifying and challenging any discrepancy, no matter how small, between the bureaus, as the FCRA mandates that the credit information must be 100% accurate and consistent. So this is like by sure the easiest way to get some quick deletions, because if it's factually untrue, they have to remove it no matter what. All right, document every violation in line with the Fair Credit Reporting Act. If any item is not maximum possible accurate, it's a potential for FCRA violation, and you have the right to dispute it for correctional removal. So it's nice to know that ChatGPT pretty much fully understands what we're trying to accomplish, but I want to caution you that you don't want to 100% trust AI. And as a disclaimer here at Pinnacle Credit Repair, we are not reliant 100% on AI, but I know you guys may not be the sharpest tool in the shed. I know you might not have money to hire professionals or even lawyers of my caliber, and you want to do this for free because you probably don't have money to pay anyone to fix it, and 2, you have a lot of time. Not good. But hey, this is the best you can get right here. If you're looking for a free way to dispute your credit and get some results, you can do it. But if you were to ask me, is ChatGPT 100% accurate? No. If you were to ask me, would hiring a professional be better? I would say absolutely yes. However, this is a free way to get some results for you. So you might as well take advantage of it. If you can't, if you've decided that you don't want to cough up $1,000 to $3,000 to get your credit fixed, if you work with me or any other credit repair company that charges you monthly, because you figure most people are going to be in a credit repair program. Like, let's say if you have like serious mistakes, collections, late payments, charge-offs, bankruptcies, things of that nature. Let's just say more than 10 negative items. You're going to be in that program for at least 6 months. So buckle up. All right. So we have this ChatGPT response, which I got to admit, I like it a lot. It's pretty good. Let's go ahead and talk about what I was talking about earlier. So this is what AI has said about AI. Funny. One AI talking shit about another. Hilarious here. Basically, it's gathering up data from articles written by humans, nonetheless. So it's a great tool to use, but you want to always fact check everything, nonetheless. There's citations for every single source of data it got this information from. And so it's good to know that this AI is verifying the stuff for you. But it doesn't hurt to do some further digging and some due diligence. On the professional level, you want to do a deep dive yourself, but this is a good way to get an understanding of what it can do and what it can't do. So I asked it right here, is ChatGPT a great source to understand the Fair Credit Reporting Act? And in its response, and I will agree, ChatGPT and similar AI tools can be helpful for understanding the basics and practical applications of consumer credit laws like FCRA, FDCPA, FCBA, FACT Act, Equal Credit Opportunity Act, and TILA. But there are important limitations to consider. Let's go into them. Strengths of using ChatGPT for these laws. ChatGPT can summarize the Fair Credit Reporting Act's purpose regulating the collection, dissemination, I hope I pronounced that right, and use of consumer credit information and outline consumer rights such as disputing inaccuracies on credit reports. Okay, so it has a basic keyword here, basic capability of doing this. And so do you. You just have to get off your ass. Okay, it can generate templates for dispute letters. Hold on. Remember, I think about a year ago, I made this video about how templates literally are like the worst way to repair your credit. And I do stand by that. But I take it back because they're not the worst way. Obviously, the worst way to do something is just guess and not be organized. At least a template gives you some sort of structure. But what I mean is that you do not want to use that template like the ones you can download online, like right here, and think that that template is all you need to do. That's the lazy ways man of repairing your credit. Okay. And AI is a tool for lazy people, but usually lazy people are also smart. But you're going to have to do some work in addition to the AI. You can't just 100% count on these templates. Although I'll admit, sometimes ChatGPT comes out with a nearly perfect letter or summary or analysis of something. But when you make these letters, when you craft them up, just use what AI gives you as a blueprint, as an outline, and then you can just kind of fill in the blanks. Okay, so let's go over the limitations with ChatGPT. Not a substitute for legal advice. That is the biggest takeaway here. It is not a substitute for legal advice. The best way to get legal advice is, get some money and hire an attorney, because I'll let you know, my buddies over here at OVLG, that is Oakview Law Group, they're not cheap, but they're the best in Northern California. They're not going to sit there and take your call for free and answer all your questions and do all that. I don't think any top level attorney will do that. You're going to have to do some due diligence. So it's not a substitute for a lawyer. So don't rely on it. ChatGPT cannot provide legal advice or interpret how these laws apply to specific complex situations. Specific complex situations. I don't think your situation is complex or specific, right? No, I didn't think so either. Of course it is. So everyone's credit report is specific and complex. At least in my experience of being in the industry for 12 years, 13 years actually, I haven't seen one credit report that's 100% alike. So therefore, you're going to have to do some due diligence on your own and consult with a professional one way or another. There are drawbacks to doing this yourself. Yes, you may get great results, you may get results, but they will vary for everyone. So I just want to leave that out there, but this is the best you can get for free. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. If you want elite level service, you can hire me anytime, consult with a professional. One thing I will tell you about Pinnacle Credit Repair, my company, I will consult with you 15 minutes for completely free. I'll literally give you the blueprint on how to fix it yourself, and I have resources to do that. In the link description below, you can have at those, or just book a consultation with me one-on-one. I'll be more than happy to help you. Going back to this limitation list, we're going to potential and outdated for incomplete information. This is 100% true. More often than not have I used AI, specifically ChatGPT, and I found that number one, it hallucinates, and number two, it only gets information back to a limited time frame. It's not getting information from case law all the way back from the 90s and 80s. Mind you, the Fair Credit Reporting Act has been around since 1970. So a lot of the stuff that was pioneered in the early days, like 70s, early 80s, late 80s, and early 90s, is like the crux of credit repair in itself. So it's not going that far back. It's only getting stuff that's more recent, like as far back as maybe 2022, so on and so forth. Okay, potential for outdated, incomplete information. While AI can access general summaries, it may not reflect the most recent legal changes. That's another one. Regulatory interpretations or state-specific nuances. This is a big one. Accuracy depends on prompts. The quality and accuracy of information generated by ChatGPT depend on the user's ability to ask clear, specific questions and verify responses. Let's go back to ChatGPT and just kind of analyze my response. And it's important to craft a response just like this. I've even asked Perplexity and I've asked ChatGPT what would be the best way to prompt you in order to give me the best results for what I'm looking for. So this is obviously, we're just analyzing, we're using ChatGPT on a very basic level to analyze your credit reports, number one. But you can't just say, ChatGPT, just analyze my reports. No, notice how I first said we're going to analyze the reports, and then I went down to another deeper layer and I said specifically how we're going to analyze them. We gave it more of a criteria. Okay. And then I want specifics. And then I asked it if it understood what I was trying to do. And then I plugged in some laws right here. So that's pretty much the formula. I'll leave more details on how to prompt specifically for credit repair in the link description below. Let's go on and look at what it came up with. As you can see right here, it looks great. So it says, ready when you are, just upload the files and I'll break it all down. Okay, so let me upload this credit report that I got from my client. Actually, they're not my client yet, but they did a consultation, their referral. Hopefully they'll sign up. We'll see pretty soon. Found it. Okay, let it load, let it do its thing. Cool, cool, awesome. That's great, cool. Before I begin, I don't know, and here's the thing, I'm using ChatGPT version 4.1, the pro version, and it gives me a lot of models. I use this because this is the most advanced one for coding and analysis. The second part of that, the analyzing aspect, and as you can see, you're not going to find something like this just getting the regular ChatGPT. And that you can have a pro version of ChatGPT, but if you just give it a basic response, it's going to give you a basic prompt. It's going to give you a basic response back. So like I said, Perplexity verified this already, and many AI experts, prompt engineers, have verified this already, that you have to have a good, clear, concise, detailed prompt to tell it exactly what it's what you're trying to get out of it, and then you'll get the best out of AI. So there's that. Another thing is that let's do an experiment right now. Let me copy and paste that exact prompt, and I bet you guys are expecting to get the exact same result from AI, right? Well, you're in for a shock because it will not give you the exact same response. Okay, so we're here. Let's copy and paste this prompt. We'll go to new chat, and as you can see, we're in ChatGPT 4.1, and we'll just copy and paste it. Now, let's wait and see if it will give us the exact same response as the previous chat window. Does that look the same, guys? Let's take a look. It is not exactly the same, but I'm not upset with this response either. However, it's not the same. And this is just one case study I will give to you. I don't have time to show you others. Well, I've copied and pasted similar prompt, and it got me a different result. So I kind of feel like I'm rolling the dice here, but I'm not upset by the response it gave me. But I will tell you, it's not going to give you the exact same response, as ChatGPT is being modified by the millisecond and upgraded. So it's going to be more sophisticated than when you used it yesterday. And yeah, that's basically it. It's AI. It's not perfect, and this is what it gave us. So let's go ahead and plug the PDF inside here and see if it gave us the same response again. Let's let it load. That does not look the same. That does not look the same, ladies and gentlemen. However, I'm not upset with this. And if you don't have the pro version and can access ChatGPT 4.1, then you probably shouldn't even bother, because I've tried to do credit repair stuff on the free version. Please do not do that. Do not do that. Okay, look at this. When we plugged it in this chat, it gave us a table. Now let's go back to the other chat. Which one is the best? Let me know in the comment section below. For me, I think the first response is the best, because I know we got a quick response from ChatGPT regarding this credit report in the other window, the second chat box. But I like how AI is asking me further questions. How would you like to proceed? This is what I'm going to do. So I like the fact that AI is collaborating with me versus the other chat window where it just kind of assumed what I want. Well, it analyzed what I wanted, but it gave me a table already. I would recommend opening a couple of windows and see what you get and using that. So before I begin, would you like the full report? Trade line, all trade lines will take longer, or do you want me to focus on the most negative derogatory accounts? Let's do it all. Let's do it all, because I want to see it all. Process gave us a process overview, deliverables. Wow, I like the first response. I like the first window better. Now we have the table. Okay, so now as you can see, this is what is all hurting the credit report. And look, here are the violations right here. These are notes, discrepancies, and flags. So this report, and keep in mind what you want to do is get the credit report and actually verify if AI is doing this correctly. That's really important. So last activity reported, dates differ from Equifax and Experian. So this means you can dispute information on Equifax and then use the report from Experian as your exhibit A to prove to Equifax it's in violation. But when you do that, you don't want to tell Equifax that you did that. Remember, you never want to do your opponent's homework for them. So just tell them it's inaccurate. Let the bureaus know. Let the CFPB know if you dispute with the CFPB. I'll go into that later. But this is basically the preliminary stuff you got to do. You have to build your case. But I'll go into depth on how to dispute specifically. But like I said, if you guys are not approaching this game this technical and this thorough, then you're probably not going to get the best results. So if you want more assistance with that, you can book a consultation with me one-on-one. This is just an example of what you can do. Now we have the sample factual dispute opportunities all right here. And you can just copy and paste this, and then you can begin to craft your dispute letter.